You boys be quiet down there!
Hey there! Welcome once again to NeoAlex's Neo Geo Reviews. We're reviewing every officially released Neo Geo game in order, and oops, this time we've run into a problem. I don't have any games to review. You see, almost nothing is known about 3 of the next NGH numbers in the Neo Geo games catalog. NGH numbers 012, 013, and 015 are all completely unknown games. But there are some facts that can be deduced based on the early placement of these numbers in the lineup, and that is what this video is about. No one knows which 3 games occupied these 3 spots in the catalog, but we do know that SNK doesn't issue NGH numbers until a game is at least in development, so there must have been something occupying these slots at some point. Perhaps SNK later became more strict about waiting for a game to be further along in the development process before issuing it an NGH number, which could be why we don't see as many completely empty spots further into the NGH catalog. NGH number 012, 013, and 015 would most likely have been developed in 1990 or 1991 by SNK or ADK, because the Neo Geo wasn't known to have third-party support until NGH-27. Now let me put this right out there before the comment section goes crazy. The game I already covered in my NGH-008 video, Sunshine, aka Block Paradise from ADK, may be one of the games that belongs in these 3 slots. As I mentioned back in my 8th video, we don't know for sure which NGH number Sunshine actually belongs to. NGH-008 is just our best guess based on the earliness of that title. It could very well be NGH-012, 13, or 15 instead, but that would leave us with an empty spot in NGH-008, so that doesn't really get us anywhere. We still have 3 unknown games regardless. As always, if better information becomes available in the future, these videos will be updated. So okay, this video is about NGH-012, 013, and 015, whichever games those may be. What about NGH-014? What's that doing wedged in there? Well, of course, NGH-014 is where the totally released game, Mutation Nation, belongs. Mutation Nation was actually originally known as Dream Over, and would have been in development in 1990 or 1991, but the game was indefinitely postponed and was in danger of being lost forever. Luckily, someone at SNK decided to revisit it, changed the name, and released it later in 1992. At NGH-014, Mutation Nation falls smack in the middle of this uncharted territory, making it somewhat of a Rosetta Stone, helping us understand the unknown slots around it. I'll be reviewing Mutation Nation in the next video, so more on that later. So, keeping in mind the only confirmed member of the SNK Early Teens Club, we can gain a better understanding of its surrounding neighbors. Again, we don't know what games belong in these 3 spots, so there is a wealth of possibilities. Keep in mind that some game system product numbers have been utilized for programs other than games. Atari's home computer line, for example, assigned number 19, known as CXL4019, to an in-store demonstration program. And for Atari Jaguar, they assigned its number 11, known as J8911, to a memory cartridge. SNK themselves assigned 8 of the NGH numbers to CD system exclusives, 3 of them being not games, but rather sample or demo discs. So anything is possible. I guess ADK World is kind of a game. It's ADK's Variety Soft. Furthermore, just as we saw with Sunshine and Fun Brothers, some games were abandoned, and then later reworked and assigned a new NGH number. For example, number 15 could have been an earlier build of Last Resort, known as Shooting World, much like Sengoku's working title was Battle World. Since the number 13 is considered unlucky in many cultures, it's entirely possible that no game was ever assigned to NGH number 13. Just like how some buildings skip floor 13 and go straight to 14.
Ha! I thought so. An unmarked 13th floor.
Or how some airplanes skip seat row 13 for superstitious reasons. Maybe SNK skipped NGH-013 and moved on straight to 14. You idiots, you're staying on floor number 13. Do you think just because they call it 14, we don't know what it really is? Now because of you, everyone in the building on floor 14 or above is living a lie. Anyway, of course, there's the prospect that many of us find the most exciting. Any of these catalog numbers could very well be abandoned projects that went unreleased. A completely unknown game that has somehow managed to stay completely hidden for 30 years, with no screenshots or info of any kind having ever been found or known. So the following is a list of ideas of what these games could have been. Ikari Warriors was SNK's pride and joy. Vertically scrolling military-style action and shooting games were an SNK staple during the pre-Neo Geo era. They were arcade sensations and big sellers on the Famicom and NES home consoles. We're talking military games like Iron Tank, Guerrilla War, etc. Athena was the closest thing that SNK had to a Mario, Sonic, or Bonk, an action platformer mascot-style character. While she was not very popular in the West, she was very popular in Japan. POW was also a popular side-scrolling beat-em-up from SNK, both in the arcades and on home consoles. Perhaps, as with Mutation Nation, an early POW 2 was left abandoned and cancelled when that genre began to lose steam. Bermuda Triangle was a mildly successful but little-known shooter by SNK. Perhaps it, and/or the other early shooters like Sky Soldiers, could have been considered as their first shooter entry on the Neo Geo. We also have the rumors surrounding a possible 3D first-person early airplane game which came from an SNK test location operator in England. So seeing these top-selling and well-known SNK intellectual properties mysteriously absent from SNK's initial offerings for the system is, at the very least, a bit mysterious. Come to think of it, the only pre-Neo Geo SNK title that even has a sequel on the console is Prehistoric Isle. Finally, we have one last possible clue to a missing Neo Geo game. Issue number 9 of Electronic Gaming Monthly from 1990 contained an article introducing the Neo Geo. The article mentioned an upcoming graphic text adventure game. Could this be one of the unreleased games that was in development? My guess is no. I suspect that the writer saw footage of the story scenes from Mahjong Kyo Retsuden, which can be lengthy, and simply didn't realize that what they were seeing was actually a Mahjong game. Oh well. The mystery endures. Putting aside the many known unreleased Neo Geo games that I still hope will get released someday, we're talking games with much higher possible NGH numbers. The early teen section of the Neo Geo product code list is, hands down, the largest gap in the product line, and the biggest mystery in the library. I suppose one can dream that someday an actual game ROM for one of these could be found. But if we ever learn anything about these missing games, it will likely be a discovery much more mundane than that. Without any known magazine articles, exposition flyers, pictures, screenshots, videos, or any information of any kind having surfaced, we have been left completely at the mercy of ex-SNK staff, hopefully coming forward one day, with old company documents, printed job assignments, department memos, etc. And until a breakthrough of that kind comes to light, we will never know what never was.
That belongs in a museum!
Thank you for watching Neo Alex Neo Geo Reviews. Next time we'll be talking about NGH-013, Mutation Nation. This series is presented by Basement Brothers, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to keep up with new videos.